we need a data? Okay, why we need a data warehouse? Okay, and what is the exactly purpose of the data warehouse? Okay, and also what are the tools are involved in developing a data warehouse? Okay, and also like what are the skill set to be required for the ETL testing? Okay, so once this is done right after these classes and all those things, so we what are the positions, what are the roles we may obtain in our organizations, in various organizations? Okay, these things, uh, just a minute. These things we have discussed in the previous class. Okay, so
Uh,
yeah, sorry, just got a call. Okay, fine. So these things we have seen. Okay, so now we are going to see in some more. We are getting to some more in depth to the data warehouse. Okay, so we are looking to the what is the data warehouse and what is OLTP, OLEP, and okay, what is the different about data marts, what is data mart. So those things we'll see. Okay, so as I said, like we have a so application, and from application to we loaded data to the some database or data warehouse. Okay, sorry, database, relational database. Okay, specifically we can say that relational database. Okay, and from there to staging and staging to target a data warehouse. Okay, so whatever you did here, whatever you entered a data, like it is like registration page, you enter the first name and last name, okay, and the premium to be paid. Okay, so whatever data it is going to be load, okay, it's going to be load here in a database. Okay, this is what we call it is oil database, or as I said, like OLT, okay, online transactional processing. So if you go and look into the OLTP, right? So what will be the operation will be performed for the OLTP? This is insert, update, and delete operations. Okay, as we see, right? So once a customer involved, okay, or a customer created the policy here. Okay, then it's going to be an insert a record. Okay, insert record, and one later he paid the premium or later he updated his other current KYC details. This is called updated records. Later he deleted, he don't want to pay the premium, so it is going to be collapse, right? That is not, that is called as deleted. So OLTP is specifically designed for these operations. Okay, this is transactional oriented, and specifically it is designed for insert, update, delete operations. Also we can say it's a day-to-day transaction. It is for day-to-day transactions. Okay, even if you see the bank account, okay, whatever the transaction, whether it is withdraw, deposit, credit, okay, so whatever the date, so the OLTP is specifically designed for day-to-day transactions. Okay, and also just remember this OLTP is normalized. Okay, this OLTP is normalized. Why? What is this normalization? We'll see in a separate class. Okay, we will see in a in-depth like why we need the normalization, all those things. Specifically, this OLTP, right? It is normalized because to improve the performance of insert, delete, update operations. It improves the performance of insert, update, delete operations. So OLTP is normalized, and it is going to be improves the performance of insert, update, delete operations. Okay, OLTP generally it is a like database, generally database schemas. So database schemas it follows to store the data. Okay, that is fine. Coming to the data warehouse. Okay, so if you go and see, once we have data here, we load the data. Okay, so this jobs, right? So the data loading process from OLTP to this is called as data
OLAP.
warehouse, right? OLE, right?
Uh,
So this is data warehouse or OLAP. Okay, so Once data, see every day night, see some cus you might have used credit cards, right? So there will be some bill generation, right?
Mm.
Okay, suppose every month 24th your bill has generated. Okay, so whatever the transaction you did on the you might have did like 23rd, right? This will be not going to be see in your statement, because the job whatever the job is going to be scheduled on that particular day from source to target is already triggered, or it may take the data from only 20 second till the 22nd, first to 22nd. So that job pick the only data from this area. Okay, and this load will be happen once a month, once a week, per day. But so that is as per the schedule, but load will be only happens once. Okay, data load will be happens once. But once data is loaded, the report generations, right? Based on the report generation to the customers, it will happen multiple times. So the reports will be, I'm not going to use printing the BI reporting tool. So we are using the BI reporting tool, and it is going to be various customers multiple times, right?
Yes.
So it is going to be the selecting process from the OIL AP will happen multiple times. That is why this OIL AP specifically designed for this selecting a data or reading a data. Okay, or reading a data. Based on this OLAP is denormalized. Okay, this
Mhm.
OLAP is denormalized. Generally, as we discussed, OLAP is a online analytical processing, online analytical processing, that is online transactional processing. Okay, it's the operations which are done for the, it's a select operation. And this OLAP is basically designed for analysis or future estimations, okay, to make decisions, okay, to make decisions. Okay, fine. And also, as I said, it is a denormalize because to improve the performance of select. Okay, OLAP. So once ఒకసారి data load అయిందంటే we have to read the data, right? We have to read the data, we have to look into the data, then only we can analyze something.
Yes.
Okay, that is what is going to be happen in the OLAP. That is for the select or read. Okay, and also if you see in diagram, in this diagram, OLAP. What is the source for OLAP? Always it's a OLTP only. So we can say the source for the OLAP is OLTP. Fine.
Yes. Okay.
So this is the difference between OLTP and OLAP. So you get a question in an interview, right? So what is the difference between OLTP and OLAP? And why we need a OLTP where we have, sorry, OLAP where we have already OLTP? Suppose like there will be a question like, see, so we are loading the data from here to here from OLTP. Okay.
Mm.
And why don't we get the data from OLTP itself? Why don't we generate reports here? Okay, because of the thing is that, see, what technically we can say, once this OLTP is normalized means it will not, the selecting of data will be very slow. Okay, the performance issue will become. And see, today I did one transaction. Okay.
Mm.
And also before 1 hour, I did a transaction. So if before 1 hour, if I generate a report, right, from this data, it will not be accurate one, right?
Mm.
It will not be accurate, and we can't make the correct decisions, and we can't make the profit and loss is correct one. Okay. That is the functional. Okay. Technically, we can't say insert update delete operations will be happen multiple times here. And also the selecting data from here will be give us the like inaccurate data. And also the performance, the DB will be crashed at the same. Inserting it will happen. At same time, we are retrieving the data for the same database. So the performance will be slow, and sometimes the DB will be crash, and we can say like a system down or something like that, right? Server down, or you might have seen like some servers will be down in some cases. Okay, so that is what happens if you do it on OLTP. Okay, if you did the same thing, the selecting process from the OLTP, that's what happens is they will load the data from OLTP to OLAP, and you might have here, right? So server downtime, you might have get some banking messages from this time to this time, the server downtime is there. Server downtime. That is the downtime is that. So they used to load the data from OLTP to OLAP. In the downtime, they use the data to load the data from OLTP to OLAP. This is what happens in the server downtime. Okay. That is why we will have as OLTP and OLAP, online analytical processing, online transactions. Okay, so you can say the main thing like in interview, right? They will expect this answer. OLTP is normalized and OLAP is denormalized. And OLTP is improve the performance of the instead of delete operation because of the normalization. And denormalization improve the performance of select operation. What is normalization? We'll see in the next class. Okay, next class is means before starting the sequence. Okay, fine.
Okay.
That is fine. So now we go to see data warehouse. In data warehouse, what we are doing, we are loading data from source to target and all the like. If it is a insurance company, suppose imagine this is an insurance LIC company. Here in insurance company, we have a employees data and also policy related data. And also like policy is nothing but sales related data. Okay, this is called as this is if you go and look into the business perspective, right? It is called as a sales. Okay, and product is something like that. The policies, what are the types of policies and what are the schemes? Okay, different type of schemes are available. So these are all called as a different business areas. Also, we have a customer data. Okay, so this is also known as a like a okay. For this, like if you see, we have a different business areas data in the application level. We customer interest their data, employees interest their data, and sales product. There is a bit different business data. These are all going to be loaded into the data warehouse. So that means in a data warehouse, we will have a all type of business areas, all type of business areas data. Okay, so that means employees, sales, product, customer. Okay, where I want to do some analysis on the employee. Okay, where I want to do some analysis on the employee only. So in that case, I want to trigger only employees data. Okay, I want to trigger from this entire business data. I want to trigger only employees data. Okay, this data is now only for the employees business area, right?
Mm.
Employees business area. This is this data, while it loading the data from all business type of areas, we are separating out a specific business areas data that is known as a data mart. This is known as a data. Okay. So data marts are specifically designed for the to handle a specific business area. Data marts are specific to a business areas. Whether it is employee, whether it is customer, whether it is sales, whether it is product. So we are building a separate data mart for each business area. Okay. So this is also act as a data warehouse, but we are separating out the data mart business areas, right? So that is why it is called as a data mart. When it comes to the data mart side, there is a two types of data marts. Okay. One is dependent data mart. Okay. And two is independent data mart. Okay, it's dependent data mart and independent data. And also we can say this is a dependent data marts is nothing but a top-down approach. Okay, and also it is also known as a bottom-up approach. Bottom-up approach. Okay, so what is mean by top-down approach and what is mean by bottom approach and what is mean by dependent data mart and what is mean by independent? Okay, we'll see. Now, as a process, we have a source and we have a staging area. Okay, and same time we will have a database. Okay, once you develop a data warehouse here, data will be loaded from source to staging and staging to target. So once you build or once you load the data into the data warehouse, wherever from this data warehouse, if you are developing, if you are loading data into the different data marts, it is called as dependent data mart or also known as the top-down approach. Okay,
Oh,
from data warehouse to we load the data into the data marts.
can you repeat that? Like, what is the top to bottom?
Sorry,
Uh, uh, like you said that top to bottom, right?
top-down,
Can
top-down.
you repeat it, please?
Yes, top-down approach is something like that. See, once we develop, so this is the source.
Hmm.
Okay, this is a source, and we are loading the data into the staging.
Okay.
Okay,
Uh, in
staging.
middle one, that is target, right?
This is a staging.
Okay.
Okay, we have a staging. In ETL, everywhere there is a staging. We are not going to direct touch into the source.
So,
Okay, I'll just,
like a source
yeah.
file is like we are just copying the data from like OLTP, right?
This source is as a OLTP only. That's what
Okay.
till now OLTP. This is a OLTP and this is OLAP.
Okay.
As I said, like see in here I said right. See, always for the OLEP source is a OLTP.
Mhm.
OLEP
Okay.
with the source is a OLTP itself. Okay,
Okay.
so this is what like this data will come from the applications
That's
that in
that I understood.
yeah, you got it, right?
Yes.
So from here, we will get a data. From
Hmm.
OLTP to data will be stored into the O staging. This is one-to-one copy. We just copy paste here the data
Hmm.
because instead of touching original data, right? So we are going to have some staging data. We are going to do some transformation from staging to data warehouse.
Okay. Do we need like do we need to copy from OLTP to stage file, or they will do the like
No, we have to do.
in
This is a ETL job. We have to
uh
do. So
okay.
it is not the thing that as a tester you have to load. Okay,
Hmm.
it is not mandatory. Most of the cases like developer will take care of this thing loading the
Okay.
data. In some cases they do not have some bandwidth, okay, and they do not go into access to the QA environment,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
So in that case what will happen, we have to load the data.
No.
They will give us the everything, okay, the jobs and details and how to trigger, how to run the jobs, everything. Even in the failures of jobs, you are not going to bother about that why it is failure or something like. You can do some analysis on how it is failing, okay, why it is failing, and you can give that information to the developer. This job got failed, so please look into that.
Mhm.
So we are not responsible to why it is failing or something like that. Okay.
Okay.
So you just have to trigger and you have to make sure that the data is loaded from source to stage.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
fine. So from here to here also it is ETL process. Okay, this entire thing we only take care of. We have to make sure the data is loaded as per business requirement.
Hmm.
Okay, fine. So once this data is loaded into data warehouse, right? So after that loading the data from the data warehouse, we will load. This is also ETL process. This is also an ETL process. We are extracting and transforming and loading to the different data marts. Okay. And this data mart is known as a dependent data mart. Why it is dependent data mart? Because once the entire business data is loaded, should be loaded into the data warehouse, then only the data mart's load should be started. Okay, so that is what is called as a top-down approach. Top is nothing but top is data warehouse always, right? So from top, we are going to develop a data marts. That is called top-down approach.
Oh,
Clear? So
ah,
just the name itself saying like we are going from top to bottom.
okay. Like we are getting the data from data warehouse from
Yes.
so we call the data warehouse as a top, and we are getting a data mart so that we call as a down.
Exactly. Because the top means so we have all business areas means it will be obviously top, right? So here we have
Yes.
all the business areas data. From that we are
Hmm.
dividing the separate outing the small business areas.
Oh, got it.
Okay. So this is top down approach or dependent data mart. Same case like independent data mart. So same thing like we have a source here. Okay, from source to we load the data into the staging.
Hmm.
That is fine. From here, what we do, we create the data marts first.
Oh,
Okay, first from staging to we create the data marts. This is called independent data mart or bottom up approach. Okay, from here, what we do, by combining this all data, we will develop a data. We'll combine all this business areas data into the, we load the data, all of this business areas data into the data warehouse. Sorry. So this is
data
data
warehouse.
warehouse and these are the data warehouse. Now you clear, right?
Yes.
So data mart is something like here bottom, why it is bottom approach? The bottom tables, like bottom
We
things
are
like business
sending
areas,
the data from data marts to warehouse. Oh,
warehouse. We are loading, they were combining this all data into the data
warehouse.
warehouse.
Yes.
Okay, first we load the data marts and then the business area separate out. Why this is happens, right? See, so if you want to analyze then if there's some team is there, some ETL team is there, and this team is working on the only employees data, and some other team is working on the sales data. Okay,
Hmm.
some other team is working on the product data. So
Yes.
every time, see, if this team want to do an analysis on employee, if this team want to do an analysis on the sales side, so if it is the top-down approach, they want to, they have to wait until this data warehouse to be loaded, and they have to load this data into the employees business area, sales business area, and product business area.
Okay.
Here, what happening? Once from the staging, right, they can write their own ETL jobs to load into the employees data, and then they can start their analysis on the employees data.
Hmm.
So irrespective of like instead of waiting for the other data of sales and production data to be loaded. Got it?
Got it. Uh, can I know what is the use of this bottom up approach? Like we are getting the data from like we yesterday you said that like can I talk in Telugu?
Yeah, yeah. You can.
నిన్న మీరు చెప్పారు కదా లైక్ మనము డేటా వేర్ హౌస్ నుంచి మనకి క్లయింట్ ఏదైతే రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఉంటుందో అది సెండ్ చేస్తామని చెప్పేసి అన్నారు కదా.
Exactly. Right.
సో ఇక్కడ బాటమ్ అప్ అప్రోచ్ నుంచి ఇక్కడ డేటా వేర్ హౌస్ నుంచి మనం క్లయింట్ కి సెండ్
We can
చేయొచ్చు.
send, right? So data mart అంటే ఇది separate ఏదో separate కాన్సెప్ట్ కాదు. ఓకే, డేటా మార్ట్ ఇస్ ఆల్సో ఏ డేటా వేర్ హౌస్. ఓకే, ఇది ఆల్సో ఇది కూడా ఒక ఎంప్లాయీస్ రిలేటెడ్ డేటానే.
అంటే ఇది
ఒక
చిన్న
బిజినెస్
అంటే ఇది ఒక సపరేట్ కాన్సెప్ట్. డేటా మార్ట్
ఇప్పుడు
వర్క్
సపోజ్
అవుతుంది. డేటా వేర్ హౌస్ అనేది మొత్తం అన్నిటికీ కలిపి ఉంటుంది.
ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ ఇప్పుడు క్యాబ్ జెమిని తీసుకోండి. క్యాబ్ జెమిని ఏం చేస్తుందంటే 2023లో ఐ హావ్ ఎ 500 ఎంప్లాయీస్. ఐ హావ్ ఎ 500 ఎంప్లాయీస్ అండ్ దిస్ ఈస్ ఏం చేయాలి? సో ఎంప్లాయీస్ మీద
ఎస్.
అనలైజ్ చేయాలి. ఏ స్కిల్ సెట్ ఆఫ్ ఎంప్లాయీస్ మనం అనలైజ్ చేయాలి, ఏ స్కిల్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎంప్లాయీస్ మనం రిక్రూట్ చేయాలి, ఏ స్కిల్ సెట్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్రెషర్స్ ని తీసుకొని రావాలి. సో ఈ ఓన్లీ ఎంప్లాయీస్ రిలేటెడ్ డేటాని అనలైజ్ చేయాలనుకోండి. సో దే వాంట్ టు నో ఓన్లీ ఎంప్లాయీస్ డేటా ఉంది, రైట్? సో వై దే నీడ్ సేల్స్ అండ్ వై దే నీడ్ ప్రొడక్ట్, రైట్? సో ఈ కేసులో ఏమవుతుందంటే ఈ బాటమ్ అప్ అప్రోచ్ లో సో అన్నెసరీ ఈ సేల్స్ ప్రోడక్ట్ ని పట్టించుకోవడానికంటే డైరెక్ట్ ఎంప్లాయీనే తీసేసుకుందాం, ఎంప్లాయీని అనలైజ్ చేద్దాం.
గాట్ ఇట్.
దట్ ఈస్ కంప్లీట్. నాట్ ఓన్లీ రిపోర్ట్స్ అంటే ఒక కస్టమర్ కి యూజ్ కావాలని కాదు, కంపెనీ కూడా అనలైజ్ చేసుకో, రైట్. సో ఎవ్రీథింగ్ గోయింగ్ టు బి
ఎస్.
అనలైజ్. ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ద యూజ్ ఆఫ్ ది బాటమ్. ఓకే, అండ్ స్పెసిఫికల్లీ ది స్టేజింగ్ ఏరియా ఇస్ ఆల్సో బిల్డ్ ఫర్ ద సేమ్. సో ఇప్పుడు ఈ స్టేజింగ్ ఏరియాలో డేటా తీసుకురాకపోతే ఈ ఎంప్లాయ్ ఈ సపరేట్ బిజినెస్ ఏరియా, ఈ సపరేట్ బిజినెస్ ఏరియాకి ఈ డేటా రావాలంటే ఆల్ షుడ్ బి హిట్ ఆన్ ద ఓఎల్టీపీ
రైట్.
అండ్ సేమ్ టైం ఇక్కడ ఇన్సైడ్ అప్డేట్ డిలీట్ ఆపరేషన్స్ అవుతాయి. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద హ్యూజ్
ఎస్.
ప్రాబ్లమ్, రైట్? So that is why we will maintain a staging area.
దట్స్ ఐ గాట్
Got it?
ఇట్.
So this is what bottom up approach. So after we have did some analysis employee sales product, right? So why we need to load
ఎస్.
again into data warehouse? Why we need to combine? So because there is also there is a certain things like suppose we have a here customer data. Okay, so I want to know the customer how many policies he has in our uh, organization. So in that case, I have to combine these two, right? I have to combine these two data. I have to look into the sales and the customers information. So that case, I need a data warehouse also.
ఎస్.
So this is how like data warehouse and data marts are going to be. Got it? So
ఎస్.
this is what the two types of data marts are there. One is dependent, one is independent, and the top-down approach and bottom approach. Okay. Now in data warehouse, right? So we will have a two types of tables available. Two types of tables. Okay. One is dimension table, and the second one is fact tables. Dimension tables and fact table. Generally, so data warehouse మొత్తం అసలు డేటా warehouse లో మనకు two types of tables చూస్తాం entire data warehouse. One is dimension tables, one is fact table. ఓకే, సో ఈ డైమెన్షన్ టేబుల్ లో జనరల్లీ ఇది ఎలా ఉంటుందంటే డైమెన్షన్ టేబుల్ ఎలా డీల్ చేస్తాను. సపోజ్ అకౌంట్ టేబుల్ అనుకోండి, ఇట్ షుడ్ బి గోయింగ్ టు దిమ్ అకౌంట్ లైక్ దిస్, ఆర్ ఎల్స్ dim customer or dim employee. So it will be the naming convention. The naming convention of the tables will be like this. Okay, and ఇక్కడ fact table కూడా same thing, like fact constellation table or fact path transaction table. So like this, the fact table అనేది ఇలా fact తో start. Got it? So ఈ iPhone ఉండొచ్చు ఉండకపోవచ్చు, that is the based on the their requirement. We can it can be fine. Okay, this is how the naming conventions of the dimension tables and fact tables will be. And now, so we have a different type of dimensions and fact table. But what is the dimension table? It contains the descriptive data. Descriptive data. What is meant by descriptive data? Suppose I have a table, employee table. Okay, so employee name, salary, phone number, everything, right? So this is here like I'm going to have an employee table. In employee table, I have an employee ID, employee name, salary, phone number, whatever, address. So this is known as a descriptive data. Okay, I know the employee ID. This is the unique number, that is fine. But whatever this employee ID tells about the employee, his name is Nare. Okay, and his salary is something like the 10,000, and phone number is something like this, and location is Hyderabad. Okay, like this, whatever the descriptive of the total employee details, it is telling. So these type of data will be stored in the dimension tables. Got it?
Yes, got it.
Okay. And in data warehouse, we will have a another key that is called as a surrogate key. Okay, that is also known as a employee key. In data warehouse, we will have a separate key that is surrogate key, that is employee key. It will always a sequence number for each record. Okay, we'll see what is surrogate key. Okay, but thing is that this employee key is always available in the dimension table. Apart from the employee ID and the descriptive data, we will have a keys in the dimension table for each table. Okay, where it comes to the fact table, right? It stores the fact table itself stores the keys of the dimension. Okay, this employee keys of the dimension table, and also it has a facts and measures. Okay, facts and measures. So what is the example for this? See, we'll have a customer, dim employee, and dim account, right? So the keys will be like employee key, customer key, like this will have a keys here. Okay, customer key. And fact is something like the invoice number. Invoice number is the fact. Okay, invoice number will is never going to be changed, right? Once it is generated and once the order is get replaced, the invoice number is never going to be changed. That is called fact. Measures is something like the price or total units, whatever. Okay, these type of data will be available in the fact table. Got it? So why we need a keys here in a fact table? We just make sure that this has a relation between the dimension and fact. Right? If you want to go and look into the here, we have a customer table. Again, if you see, we have again one more table that is called as customer table, which has a customer key. Here, like we have some customer table, customer key also there. Okay, and we have some customer name or all the data will be there. Okay, if I want to know which customer, which employee called to this, if suppose it is called as a like a loan requirement call. Okay, this employee is going to be called this customer. So which employee call this customer? You want to know. What do you do here? Like here the customer key is like 2, and here we have a 1 comma 2. So we can say for employee 1 is connected to the customer 2. And what is the customer name? You can get it from here. And what is the employee name? You can get it from here. So this is how the relation will be maintained by use between the dimension and fact table by using the employee and whatever by using the keys. Got it? సింపుల్ ఏం లేదు, రెండు డైమెన్షన్ ఫ్యాక్ట్ టేబుల్స్ మధ్య రిలేషన్ తీసుకోవడానికి మనం కీస్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం ఇక్కడ. అండ్ వేర్ ఇట్ కమ్స్ టు డేటాబేస్ లో ఐడీస్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం. ఈ ఐడి ప్రైమరీ కీగా ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, బట్ థింగ్ ఏంటంటే ఇక్కడ ఐడి అనేది ప్రైమరీ కీగా ఉండదు. బికాస్ సో ఒక ఎంప్లాయీ, సో దేర్ వీఆర్ ట్రాకింగ్ ద హిస్టరీ ఆఫ్ ది రికార్డ్స్, రైట్? హిస్టరీ ఆఫ్ ది ఎంప్లాయీస్, రైట్? సో he can change his mobile number, he can change his address, right? His salary can be changed. So we will have a multiple records of the employee, same employee. Okay, so that is why employee ID cannot be tracked here. Okay, it is not considered as a primary key here. So we are going for the primary key consideration. We go and take a surrogate key help. Okay, surrogate key is the sequence number which is act as a primary key in the data warehouse. Clear?
Yes, clear.
So this is dimension tables and fact tables. In this dimension table,
Can you tell about the fact table once again? Like
yeah,
it cannot change any data, right?
fact keys. See, fact will have a keys.
Okay.
Employee key where it get where I took it this employee key
From employee table.
the dimension table నుంచే తీసుకొచ్చాను.
Okay.
ఓకే,
Dimension.
అండ్ కస్టమర్ కి డైమెన్షన్ టేబుల్ నుంచే తీసుకొచ్చాను.
Okay.
ఓకే, అండ్ ఇన్వాయిస్ నంబర్ అనేది సెల్ఫ్ జనరేటెడ్ and it is not going to be changed, right? So
Yes.
invoice number అనేది చేంజ్ కాదు ఇప్పుడు. Okay, and that is what invoice number. And price అనేది కూడా fact table లో ఉంటుంది. This is a measure value. Okay, for particular invoice number, what is the price? Suppose ఇప్పుడు ఒక ఫ్రిడ్జ్ పర్చేజ్ చేశారు, దానికి ఇన్వాయిస్ నంబర్ జనరేట్ అవుతుంది, దాని ప్రైస్ ఏంటి?
Okay. Got it.
అండ్ ఏ కస్టమర్ కొన్నాడు అండ్ ఏ ఎంప్లాయ్ దాన్ని రిజాల్వ్ చేశాడు అండ్ ఏ ఎంప్లాయ్ దాన్ని సేల్ చేశాడు, దట్ ఇస్ సంథింగ్. సో వీ విల్ గెట్ దస్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ త్రూ ది మీకు సింపుల్ ఏంటంటే డైమెన్షన్ టేబుల్స్ అన్నిటికి కలిపి చూడడానికి మనకు ఫ్యాక్ట్ టేబుల్స్ యూజ్ అవుతాయి. ఓకే, ఎంప్లాయీ రిలేషన్ డేటా డైమెన్షన్ టేబుల్లో ఉంటుంది, కస్టమర్ రిలేటెడ్ ఒక సపరేట్ డైమెన్షన్ టేబుల్ ఉంటుంది. బట్ ఈ రెండింటి డేటాని మనం చూడాలంటే దాన్ని ఫ్యాక్ట్ టేబుల్ తో రిలేషన్ చేసి మనం చూడొచ్చు. Got it? Okay. Fine. So this is what the dimension and fact tables. And coming to the dimensions, right? We have a different type of dimension tables. Okay. One is confirmed dimension. These are these dimension types, right? These are based on the relation between the fact and dimension types. Why it is confirmed dimension? Because of some relation between the fact and dimension. So how it's going to be, we'll see. Okay, confirmed dimension, and we have a junk dimension. So these are the different type of dimension tables. Okay, and also role playing dimension. Okay, and degenerated dimension. And also we have confirmed change rule playing. Okay, fastly or rapidly changing dimension. Okay, and also the most important one is slowly changing dimension. So our entire ETL process will be based on this slowly changing dimension. Okay, again in this slowly changing dimension, we have a different types, type 1 and type 2 and type 3. So how, what is the type 1, type 2, type 3, we'll see. Okay. So coming to the fact table, again, we have a fact table. We have a three types of facts, not fact tables, three types of facts. Okay. So
Oh,
here, okay. We have a three types of facts. Okay. One is additive fact and semi-additive fact and non-additive fact. Okay. Additive, semi-additive and non-additive. So what is these things we'll see tomorrow. And based on this fact, again, this fact tables are divided into two types of fact tables based on this fact. Okay, that is cumulative and snapshot fact table. Okay. So these are the facts types and these are the dimension types. So these things we'll see tomorrow. Okay. We'll start with the fact table, different type of facts and the different type of fact tables. Then we'll see about the dimensions and different type of dimensions. Then after that, we'll go with the, and we have also one more thing like factless fact table. One more thing that is factless fact table. That is also we'll see. All these types we'll go and see with the examples only. We'll go we'll go with the example so that you can explain to an interview. You can interviewer it is easy and you can also understand better in example. Okay. And also we are going to see the schemas. After the schemas, what are the schemas we are going to follow in a database? Okay. This is what is the data warehouse, different type of facts and dimensions. We'll see tomorrow in detail. Okay. Any questions till now? In today's class, any questions? So after
ఇది
this
ఒకసారి
entire class, right? Yeah, I will provide you the notes. Okay. After the
ఓకే.
completion. Yeah.
ఒకసారి నార్మలైజేషన్ డినార్మలైజేషన్ ఒకసారి చెప్పండి.
అది నార్మలైజేషన్ డినార్మలైజేషన్ మనం ఒక సెపరేట్ క్లాస్ లో చెప్పుకుందాం. ఓకే.
ఓకే అలాగే చెప్పండి.
నేను ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను క్లియర్ గా వాట్ ఇస్ నార్మలైజేషన్, వాట్ ఇస్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ నార్మల్స్. సో మీరు ఒక బీటెక్ చేశారా, ఎంసీఏ చేశారా?
బీటెక్ సివిల్.
బీటెక్ లో యూ మైట్ హావ్ సీన్ లైక్ నార్మలైజేషన్ ఒక ఎస్ఐ క్వశ్చన్ ఉంటుంది.
సారీ,
ఎస్ఐ క్వశ్చన్ ఉంటుందండి నార్మలైజేషన్ అంటే ఏంటి అనేది.
ఓకే.
Okay, fine, that is fine. So we'll discuss in detail about the normalization.
ఓకే.
So after the completion of this data warehouse, right? ఒక క్లాస్ లో చెప్తాను. Okay, fine. Any questions? Any other questions? Fine, right? As of now.
Yes.
నిన్న టైమింగ్ ఇష్యూ అనేది మీరేనా నిన్న?
యాక్చువల్ గా నాకు మీటింగ్స్ ఉంటాయి అంటే
ఓకే.
సో దానికోసం.
ఓకే ఓకే ఫైన్. సో ఏం చేద్దామంటే ఒక 1 వీక్ ఈ డేటా వైరస్ తర్వాత మీకు మార్నింగ్ టైం వీలైతే ఆ క్లాస్లో జాయిన్ అయిపోయింది. నెక్స్ట్ టాపిక్ అక్కడ స్టాప్ చేస్తాం, అక్కడ స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం.
ఓకే.
ఓకేనా? షూర్ దెన్. దట్స్ ఫర్ టుడే. ఓకే, హ్యావ్ ఎ నైస్ డే.
థ్యాంక్ యూ. ఈ నోట్స్ పంపిస్తారు మీరు?
నేను క్లాస్ కంప్లీట్ డేటా వైరస్ కంప్లీట్ అయిన తర్వాత నోట్స్
అంటే
ఇస్తాను.
డే డైలీ డేది కాదా?
డే వైజ్ కాదు,
ఓకే.
ఒకసారి కంప్లీట్ గా కాన్సెప్ట్స్ కంప్లీట్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత నేను ఫార్వర్డ్ చేస్తాను.
ఓ, ఓకే.
ఓకే,
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
బాయ్.
బాయ్.